One second. Guys, so we're back. Away from the car so you guys can hear me a little bit better. So today I wanted to talk about GT cars, Grand Touring cars versus the more focused, drag focused smaller type of sports cars. And I wanted to really go over the advantages of a GT car versus the advantages of more of a drag focused car. And we're going to start with this one, and then I'm also probably going to talk about the DB9 in this one, a few other touring cars, the CL class from Mercedes, or the S class coupe from Mercedes, SLs from Mercedes, even the Ferrari 4-doors are super fast. Oh, you can tell how wide it is right here. Look at the parking spot. But there's some spaces in this car. But okay, so one of the advantages of a Grand Touring car like this one, especially if you're taller like me, is the space in the car. So you have a little bit more leg room and a little bit more headroom actually in a Grand Touring car versus a drag focus car. So a drag focus car would be more so like, what I'm talking about is like a 911 or Aston Martin Vantage, something along those sorts, 458 Ferrari, Huracan, Lamborghini, not the Aventador, so I really want to really showcase that in a GT car, if you're on the taller side, these cars have a lot more room. Now, a lot of drag focus cars tend to be a little bit faster off the line, by a few seconds. Some by a second, some by a few seconds. Really depends on the car. If you're really not a 0 to 60 guy, you don't have to have the fastest 0 to 60 time. If you're not planning on putting down 700-800 horsepower, then I would definitely suggest getting a GT car versus getting a drag focus car. Now the second advantage to having a Grand Touring car or buying a Grand Touring car is that they're cheaper. So 9 times out of 10, Grand Touring cars are like, they depreciate a lot faster, so they're cheaper on the used market. Now, it's funny because in the new car market, usually Grand Touring cars cost more. So if you look at a DB9 Aston Martin, it usually costs more. Look at the CL class Mercedes or the S class coupe Mercedes, usually cost more than if it's all decked out, it usually costs more than the drag focus cars of that brand. But they do depreciate a lot faster because the interest, in America, we don't really do Grand Touring here like they do in Europe. So Grand Touring cars tend to depreciate a lot faster here in America. So I would suggest if you're on the taller side like me, you really 0 to 60 times are not as important to you, or you have a drag focus car already, then I would say take a look at Grand Touring cars. Because they really do have some nice Grand Touring sports cars for the money. You get a lot of bang for your buck. Usually Bentley, Maserati, Aston Martin, Mercedes. They make a lot of Grand Touring vehicles. Okay, so the third thing, Grand Touring vehicles usually aren't seen as much. Okay, so you guys got to realize that most people who buy fast cars buy drag focus cars, and a lot of GT cars just aren't they aren't seen as much. Like, you don't see DB9s as much as you'll see Advantage. You know, you don't even see these as much as I think you see those earlier GT Coupes or Spiders, you know, smaller sports cars. You know, but Grand Touring cars usually a lot rarer. Usually don't see them as much. You know, so if you're into rarity factor, you're into, you know, getting attention, breaking necks, then Grand Touring cars to me usually are the ones that catch more attention. You know, you could even really throw the V12 Lamborghinis into a Grand Touring car because it's such a humongous car. I can't see how people would really say that was a drag-focused car first, you know, instead of a Grand Touring car. Even though it doesn't have a lot of room in it, this doesn't have a lot of room in it, you know, and it's 4 seats. You know, I guess you could say the Lamborghini doesn't really fit it, but, you know, size-wise, it just fits the Grand Touring, you know, that space of a Grand Touring vehicle. You know, Grand Touring vehicles usually have large gas tanks, which are usually built to go fast, far. Okay, Grand Touring vehicles, to me, a lot more Grand Touring vehicles are built more sturdy because, again, they're built to go faster, not fast, but they're built to go fast for a long period of time, you know, for a long distance. So therefore, a lot of the materials, a lot of it's geared to run for a long time. That's why I honestly believe that Grand Touring vehicles usually cost more from factory versus drag focused cars. You know, so those are just a few reasons as to why you should buy a Grand Touring vehicle, or, you know, just really think about getting a Grand Touring car versus a drag focused car. Now, drag focused cars, I do understand most of them do come with higher horsepower, a quicker, faster 0 to 60 times. But if you're on the street, to be honest with you, the horsepower numbers really, I mean, unless you street race 9 times out of 10, horsepower numbers, you're really not going to put all of that power down to the ground. Like a lot of you Hellcat owners, a lot of you Porsche GT3 owners, GT2 owners, a lot of you guys, you're never putting that power down on the street. You know, even Scat Pack owners, you're not putting that power down on the street. You only really put it down on the track before you lose your license. And I've lost my license before, so I know what that feels like. That's not really something that you want to go through if you don't have to, and you're a car guy. Trust me, you do not want to play with your license like that. But, you know, that's why I always say, like, you know, I've had a few Porsche guys ask me about a Maserati, about the Gran Turismo, and I always say, like, you know, Porsches are cool, you know, if you got all that horsepower and you take it to the track and all of that, but if you're not taking it to the track, and you're really 90% of the time you're driving it on the street, then what do you need all that power for? Even you Hellcat guys, what do you need 700 to 800 horsepower for, and you're not going to the track? You're too scared to go to the, not too scared, but you're too scared to go to the track, or you don't go to the track, you don't like going to the track. What do you need it for? Because you put 700 down on the street, man, you crash, you're gonna kill yourself. And it's really not worth it, you know. A lot of you guys that buy the smaller sports cars, drag focused cars, I would say just take a look at something a little bit bigger. You know, especially if you drive long distances, I would say definitely go with something Grand Touring, because those little cars can be extremely cramped, you know, for guys like me. And you know, I just think, I don't know, theory-wise, it says that they should be built just a little bit tighter, you know, just a touch more refined. I mean, price tag says so, but even if you were driving a longer distance, you would want, you know, parts that would last that distance. You know, so anybody who like questions the Gran Turismo, whether it's reliable, understand it. It is a Grand Touring car. Understand that you know, I've driven this car, well, not really long trips, but 2 hours, 3 hour trips, and this car loves to be driven. It's when you don't drive this car, you know, that's when it starts to give you issues. And with most sports cars, that's when it, you know, they give you issues. You know, and another last reason is I think GT cars are just overlooked. You know, a lot of people believe that GT cars for some reason aren't real sports cars or aren't real supercars, and it's strange to me because most GT cars are just a version of that. You know, most GT cars, man, are so close to being drag cars. You can tell they're just a lot bigger. You know, maybe add some different suspension work in it, just so you don't mind a longer trip. But I can't see, you know, on the street how much of a difference you will miss, you know, from a drag car to a GT car. You know, like I said, a lot of them are overlooked, and I think that you can get yourself a really good deal on a GT car. You know, guys, again, like, you know, I want a DB9, I want a Murcielago, you know, but yeah, you know, I would definitely say take a look at GT cars versus drag cars, and you know, see if it piques your interest. Especially go and drive one. You know, just go and drive one of these. Go and drive a DB9. Go drive, you know, a CL Mercedes. It's, you know, a little bit different of a ride. This ride here, and I'll say this from a CL, Benz, or, you know, a big BMW. This is more of a GT sporty ride. So, you know, this Aston Martin, I'm hoping, you know, you press the sport button on it and dampers, you know, the whole car tightens up and feels like a big sports car, you know. So yeah, I just wanted to go on my little GT car rant and how GT cars, another thing, GT cars are supercars. You know, I'm gonna do a whole video on this, but I've heard a lot of people say this when it comes to the DB9. I've heard a lot of people say this, you know, some people say this when it comes to the Gran Turismo. You know, I've heard some people say it when it comes to a lot of, you know, a few different cars, that GT cars are supercars, guys. You know, Koenigsegg just built a four-seater GT car. You can tell me that's not a supercar? You know, or a hypercar, to be exact. I mean, Koenigsegg is in hypercar territory, let's be honest. But, you know, Ferrari FF, that's a supercar. Like, you know, don't ever think that, don't listen to these rumors on the internet talking about you know, GT cars aren't supercars. Right? That's, you know, this new wave of car guys, the way they define some stuff is really sometimes it's kind of strange to me. But how you can tell me a V12 Aston Martin is no longer a supercar is kind of strange. How you can tell me this, which sounds like this is louder than most supercars that you will hear on the street. Okay. How you can't consider this one as loud as it is crazy, man. You know, some of you guys, most of you guys do. Some of you guys I've heard talk kind of slick about Gran Turismos, you know, and you know, GT cars. So I just wanted to go on my little rant. You know, that's really it, guys. So if you haven't already, hit that like, share, subscribe button for me. Join the VSOG Club. Turn on all post notifications for me. Into when I drop the video, and I'm out, guys. Also, guys, if you made it to the end of the video, tell me what kind of topics you'd like to see me do videos on. So yeah, I'm out, guys. Later.